Hey, welcome back. So this is our Ram JJ, and he's had a really awesome year this year. He had mites, and now he had these abscesses, and so he's doing a lot better now. Wool's coming back in from being after the mite treatments and stuff, but anyways, so he had these two abscesses, kind of in his shoulder area, and the the vet here, she believed that they weren't CL, which is a big problem with sheep and goats. I believe it stands for caseous lymphoma. I believe I could be wrong, but CL is what's normally known as. Anyways, the abbreviation, I guess. And so we believe this wasn't it, just because the way it felt, the and the pus and everything. But anyways, I thought this might be interesting to some people. So we disinfected the area, or she did, and then basically, uh, her arms in a way, but basically, she just made an incision and then started squeezing like a giant, pimple, right? And so it's just kind of interesting, and got as much as she could out just from squeezing, and then she had, put her fingers all in it, and you know, got it all out. So she did a really good job. Took her time, made sure all of it was out, and then she did on both of them, obviously. And his skin was a bit leathery and hard, and that was mainly because of the mites from before. So if you can check back. I'll do a link in the description on my mites video with JJ, so you can kind of get an idea of what happened to him beforehand earlier in the year. Um, but he's a blue-faced Leicester, and I haven't done a video yet of the blue-faced Leicesters just because I have some ewes that are blue-faced Leicesters, and him JJ, and he just didn't look real pretty, to do a nice video on blue-faced Leicesters. So I'm waiting for him to recover before I do a video. But he is a blue-faced Leicester, registered. All of them are registered, and so um, that's why he does have that kind of bluish tinge to his legs and his neck and face area. That's common for the breed. It's just with the mites, the way they attack the skin, it they basically create little wounds, and they scab up, and they get like this really leathery skin for a while. So that's kind of where he's at right now. So it made pulling these abscesses a little bit harder because of just that tough skin was just made it a little bit more difficult for her. And there is a possibility that, because of the mites and the damage they had done, is that might have created these abscesses with, some kind of infection or whatever that went on. So we don't really know. But his neck area was one of the main spots that was infected with the mites earlier, and it was his neck area, and then his butt area right above his tail, his haunches, kind of. So, anyways, as you can see, she had to open up both abscesses to drain them, and then later on she had to open them up further because they were just, trying to get those last remaining pieces, because if you leave any in there, it's going to just reinfect. It's just gonna what's it called? The bad stuff is just gonna multiply inside that cavity space. So if you don't get it all, there's why even bother kind of a deal. It's just gonna come back in a short period of time. So we had to wash it out, had to completely drain it out, and then afterwards we had to pack the area, and we had to do some maintenance to it for a little while. But it was a really interesting learning experience, and it really didn't hurt him too much. Um, he's a really good guy and understood what we were trying to do, I think. And so the problem actually was we didn't have a really great location to work with him in the pasture he was at, and he was actually found out later he was actually on an ant pile. So he was actually struggling more because he was laying on an ant pile than um, the actual wound, or cutting him open or anything. Because I mean, the vet, she was poking her finger inside and everything, and he didn't really care. It was just I think the occasional ant bite that was messing up with him more. And so she's squirting water at the moment. It's kind of uh, she had used, I can't remember the red stuff she had used before, but she had mixed the red stuff earlier in with water, but it was mostly water to rinse out the interior of the abscess area. And basically she just rinsed water through it a bunch of times and to get any remaining particles out, and that was pretty it. It was a really straightforward deal, but I thought this might be of interest to some of you. You can do this on goats. I suppose pretty much any kind of livestock, really. I mean, it'd be kind of hard to be wrestling a pig or a cow, maybe. But you could do the standing too. It was just easier for us to do it standing. But anyways, I hope this helps. And if you have any questions, as always, please comment down below, and I'll be more than happy to answer questions if I can. And I will see you next time. Talk to you later. Another thing I was going to mention is, so there's been no editing for this video, so it's straight through, and so you can watch all the footage, of course, but there was no bleeding. It was just a straight incision and squirt out the pus. So the red that you are seeing is, like I said before, there was I can't remember the name of the compound or whatever, but it was a powder that she mixed in with the water to just like to disinfect and everything. So that's what that is. And there's there was no blood or anything like that. It was just a straight water and this red solution, basically, that was used. And so yeah, so there's the so she's just dumping the rest of it over, but yeah, there was no bleeding, no anything like that going on. So, anyways, like I said, hope this helps, and I'll see you next time.